Good evening, all. This is a lesson in corruption. I hope you take away some key points from this. And it is quite a long video, so please sit down and prepare yourself. Right, introduction. I'm going to give you some information and try to give you a better understanding of different hacks done previously and how the NCA continue to contradict themselves. The Encrochat hack is clearly live intercept. Barristers and solicitors now know that this is clearly live intercept and is so illegal. There is so much smoke, there's only a matter of time before we find the fire. One, there was a message from Brendan Moore to Matt Horn, 3rd of the 2nd, 2020. There was no disclosure of the full message. The Dutch are likely to have partially or fully developed this capability based on where the French were technically and where they've got to in an extremely short period of time. This means English believe the Dutch have some form of the hack already, so they passed it on to the French to speed things up for the Encrochat hack. Eurojust minutes 090320, base ID 52768. Once the technical phase of the interception and decoding has been completed, a further coordination meeting can be organised. Europol Sienna 0420 of the 2nd 20 1515969-14-3. Infection ready earlier than originally expected. Determine the contribution strategy regarding the live interception. Europol Sienna 22 of the 0220-14181126-1-1. The full infrastructure has been copied by the C3N and is under examination. If possible, decrypt the communications of the criminals. C3N, French made the replica of the server, so data copies to the server. NCA officers casebook serial number 18/001473, 19/02/20. The officer states that the key encryption the French may possess will mean that more destructive methods of forensic examination are not required. NCA officer casebook serial number 18/001477, James Wilmot, page 4 to 6. The French are clear that the process is intercept as it is lifetime monitoring. Jeremy Deco to Emma Sweeting on the 29th of the 1st, 20. Info on Miguel Eric, 21st December 2018 and October 2019. Decryption of the volumes, virtual machine uses Clevis tool, VPN. The implant is capable of collecting the following data. AES key database. The phone data are collected on our server and we can access them in live, or if it's not live, it will be real time. This is another way of decrypting the messages. 17th of September, Jeremy Deco answers if the implant is present on device. Message will be received at stage 4 when transmitted from phone to server. Jeremy Deco. Geolocation would only appear on live data. Does this mean stored messages would not contain cell tower, IP address, or other identifying info? Jeremy Deco can get messages from 2 to 3 years back depending on the user. Right, different types of platforms that have previously been hacked. They said this was impossible for end-to-end encryption to be hacked. It clearly is not. And different types of end-to-end encryption. For example, PFS, perfect forward secrecy, in a nutshell. In instant messaging, there are 2 long-term keys that are created after initial setup of device/app. A public key, this is attached to the username or phone number, and a private key, which is stored on the device, usually. PFS is an agreement of session key protocols, an algorithm that creates a new key for each message sent. The elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman protocol uses approximately 15% of the long-term private key in the algorithm to create each session key. Value of PFS is it's designed to provide protection to previous and future communication should a session key be learned. It would only compromise the messages attached to that key. They wouldn't be able to get messages prior or after that session. Known and theoretic methods to bypass or corrupt PFS. Malware. Keyloggers, screen grab. A mainstream version of this is Pegasus. Manipulation. If the hacker can gain access to the long-term private key undetected and then manipulate the algorithm that generates session keys, such as the dual elliptic curve deterministic random bit generator, making session keys predictable to the hacker but random to system admin. In this case, past communication would remain unreachable, but all communications going forward would be in plain text to the hacker. I'm waiting on more info on Masquerade as a server. Still rolling. The final way I found this theoretical, as there is not a known computer to crack PFS. This method has been used for less secure encryption. Cryptanalysis of the ciphers. A patient attacker can capture conversations in encrypted form and then wait for a quantum computer to brute force the algorithms used in the system. This would allow recovery of messages going back to initial capture and new conversations going forward. At the minute, there is not a known computer powerful enough to carry out this task. Mathematic experts believe the algorithms for RSA and Diffie-Hellman could be broken within the next 3 years. PFS, instant end-to-end encryption, is used in lots of things, i.e. Signal, WhatsApp, and Wicker. Just look on Google, the info is there. Evidence to consider: cryptanalysis for both SkyECC and Encrochat. SkyECC reports claims the recovery of over 1 billion messages have been recovered. Sky experiences traffic of around 3 million messages per day, equating to 300 to 400 days, while reports live interception lasted 3 weeks. Reports also state that only 50% of messages had been decrypted at the time of the 9th to the 3rd, 21, and authorities were searching messages for identifying info. Jeremy Deco states in his interview on the 17th of the 9th of the 20 that geolocation information is only available in live messages. Encrochat. Authorities have had some form of access to the service since e.a.r.t.h on December in 2018. On the 17th of September 2020, Jeremy Deco explains that they can't get messages 2 to 3 years back, depending on the device and the user. Then he explains it's difficult to explain because of the law, and geolocation info will only be available on live intercept. How could cryptanalysis be achieved? If enough information is gained from the devices, such as long-term private keys and a large number of session keys using this known information, and a number of quantum computers, it may be possible to calculate the algorithms used. This method would bypass the value of PFS. All captured data could be decrypted and forward-facing data readable. Conclusion. Malware. The insertion of malware of captured messages on the device is the least sophisticated of the messages described and most likely to be foiled. Michael Harrison, former GCHQ employee, conceded that this method could leave a data trail through the DNS server. Manipulation. This is the most fitting explanation. Stage 1 collects information to identify handles and gain a long-term keys, while a random number generator is inserted, making forward-facing messages readable. Stage 2, collection of live messages. Cryptanalysis. When reading between the lines, its method satisfies questions such as these mentioned and would qualify national secrecy and 2 to 3 years of planning as opposed to insertion of malware. Some interesting info from a 2018 hack. November 2018, an instant messaging platform known as e.a.r.t.h, which was loaded on a security-focused iPhone, was hacked. Dutch police said they decrypted 258,000 messages sent using e.a.r.t.h. e.a.r.t.h used end-to-end encryption, the OTR, and Dutch police wouldn't comment on how they were able to decrypt messages, though a NOS reporter, Juice Skelevis, I think that's how it's pronounced, correct me if I'm wrong, wrote that the server used to exchange messages was hacked. This, along with Encrochat hack, demonstrates the Dutch's ability to gain access to encrypted messages. But check this, right? In February 2020, Luke Trimpton raised issues that the French hack appeared to be in transmission. Later, both Luke Trimpton and Matt Horn explained in statements that the data must come off the device, as decryption of end-to-end encryption is impossible. The last slide information is readable, available to the public, and contradicts their statements, even at the time of making them. They claim to have experience in the field. You would believe, if that's the case, this information was known to them and withheld to assist their development. If not, maybe they are not qualified to comment on what is and is not possible with encryption. I did a day's research and found a lot of information on Encrochat and Encrochat, which you can do with Google too. It proves end-to-end encryption is not impossible. Luke Shrimpton and Matt Horn must have known this and chose not to disclose this in court, that the Dutch hacked those above. And that is it. I hope you like it, and I'll be coming up with more videos soon. So stay peaceful and share the hell out of this.